Okay, let's talk about intervals now. But first, let's talk briefly about this thing right here. Okay, that I circled. This thing right here is called a number line. And it's a convenient way of placing every number in its proper order. So for instance, when numbers are increasing to the right, numbers increase to the right and they decrease as we go to the left. Okay? And every real number has a unique spot somewhere on this line. So for instance, pi, which is 3.14, is probably right around there. Okay? So this is our number line. And we can use it to talk about intervals. So down here, I have an example of an interval. This is interval notation. And when we read it, it reads -3 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 4. So a couple of things here. This symbol here represents less than. And this symbol here is less than and equal to. Okay, so how can we represent this interval on the number line? Well, first of all, what does this interval mean? Well, this interval, it's telling us something about the value of x. It's telling us that x can take on values between -3 and 4, including 4. We want to include the number 4, but not include the 3. So x could be anywhere in that interval. And on the number line, what does this look like? Let's do it in a different color. We'll do it in red. Well, that's going to be somewhere in this region here. Not including 3, but definitely including 4. So we could take an x value anywhere in that region. And to represent that region on a number line, we do it in the following way. Since we're not including -3, we just draw a little open circle where -3 is. Okay, this is because we're not including 3. This is just strictly, remember, this is -3 is less than x. Okay, so it's strictly less than x. So x could never be -3. Conversely, x can be 4. So since x can take on the value of 4, we draw a solid circle. All right, so now what we do, and I'm just going to draw this a little bit bigger, is we represent all of the numbers that x can be by connecting these dots. So we can connect them like that. There we go. Sometimes you'll see books that will do a circle at 4 and an open circle at 3, and they'll draw the line either below or above the number line. Either if you want to draw it on the number line or below the number line, it's fine, as long as it's clear what you mean. Okay? So, what about if I've given you, for instance, let's get another color here. Let's do it in green. Okay, let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay, let's say I've chosen an interval, let's say, that starts at 5 and will include 5 and goes until -2. Can we translate that to our interval notation like this? Okay, so let's do that. So always start at the left. So we'll start at this point that I just circled, -5. Okay, so we start with minus 5. Now, in our number line, when we drew this interval here, we used a solid circle. That means that x is could take on the value of 5, and negative 5, sorry. And since that is the case, we draw the less than or equal to sign. Okay? So, then we draw the x. By the way, x, this is the x number line, okay? X's can take on values on that number line, and this green interval is restricting what x could be. Okay, so first of all, x has to be bigger than or equal to negative 5. Also, it can take on values all the way up until 2, but not negative 2, but not including negative 2. Since we're not including negative 2, it's strictly less than negative 2. Okay? So this is just a brief review on interval notation and the number line. Thank you for watching.